sure that we're live and good to go. It still says we're going live. Now it says we are live. There's 2 viewers waiting. There's one of them is me. There we go. There we go. Good morning, MK. Good morning. Happy to see you here. Happy to see you here. So on the small time frame, there is no liquidity below us. That is usually a sign that we're not going to go down there because there's no demand for it to go down there, right? Liquidity, yes, is people getting shorted or people getting stopped out of their longs or their shorts or their leveraged position, but ultimately, liquidity is what drives every single financial market in existence. The price of an asset's going to flow to wherever the liquidity is. And right now, the liquidity is quite literally all above Bitcoin's current price. Most of it's sitting right around, you probably can't read any of these numbers, but most of it's sitting right around 45,500 up until really 47,000. Yep, there we go. All right, we're live. Cool. On the larger time scale, there's a lot of liquidity up to where we wicked to, up at that $48,000 area. So we could see a run up there, but again, there's also equally as much, if not more, liquidity down around that $42,000 area, which coincidentally corresponds with the trend line that we have drawn out on the larger time scale. If we were to pull back down to the trend line that we had been holding since the beginning of October or halfway through October, we'd see that pull down of right now 9% down to 40,000. I don't think it'll happen immediately. I think it'll probably take a day. I mean, honestly, it could happen immediately. So we could see if the ETF were to get denied, we're probably going down to that $40,000 area. If the ETF gets approved, we're more likely than not going straight past $48,000. There's a little bit of liquidity up around 51 or 52,000. So I believe, based off the fake ETF announcement yesterday, we'll probably spike past that $48,000 area. So that's where we went to on that news when the SEC got hacked. And can we just talk about that for a minute? We need to just acknowledge the severity, truthfully, of what that actually means, because the SEC deadass didn't even have two-factor authentication on their account for X. And I saw some mainstream news articles coming out saying that X got hacked. The dishonest nature of mainstream media. They're saying X got hacked, not the actual account of the SEC. I don't know about you guys, but my X didn't get hacked. X didn't get hacked. The SEC's account got hacked. And it's it's bearish on all of our trust in the organization, which is supposed to be regulating our entire space. It's truthfully not something that can be let go lightheartedly. It needs major corrections, major changes need to be taken place by Congress, and it's good for us to realize that, well, they are. Congress sent a letter to Gary Gensler, thanks to It's Joshua Jake out here breaking that news. Congressional letter regarding yesterday's hack hit Gary Gensler's inbox, with more expected to trickle in today. January 23rd is the deadline the SEC has to respond to these questions that hit their inbox today. Has the commission made an official decision regarding the approval of a Bitcoin ETF? You can see the letters here. You're not really going to be able to read them because the text is going to be too small here. But has the commission made an official decision regarding the approval of the Bitcoin exchange traded products? Do these developments change or otherwise complicate the commission's timeline for issuing a final decision on the approval of a Bitcoin exchange traded product? Good morning, Johnny. Yes, I am late. It's a little bit confusing. I don't know that it went live as soon as I clicked live, but we're here. All right. Better late than never, right? So this is definitely bearish. This is definitely a bearish outlook because if you think about the complications that just arose, the SEC just committed market manipulation. Yes, it wasn't directly the SEC, it was someone who hacked the SEC manipulating the market, but nonetheless, the SEC was the vehicle for market manipulation, which caused, I don't have the exact figure on top of my head right here, but likely hundreds of millions of dollars of liquidations. So retail investors just got fucked by the SEC. And so, like, they have to do an internal investigation. This is more likely than not going to delay the process of the ETF actually getting launched because yeah, they have to go through the entire bureaucracy of investigating themselves, which I don't know that they have done before. And then they have to respond to Congress about all these concerns. There's more than just those two concerns. There's actually six concerns in total that they have to respond to. And it just causes a lot of questioning of what's going to happen here in the short term. On the flip side, on a more bullish note for this, we have Eric here. I'm not going to be able to pronounce his last name, so I don't even know if I'm going to try it here. But Eric said, "Happy ETF approval day, for real this time. To all those who celebrated, as far as we know, it's all systems go. Most likely, most likely as we see the formal approvals ballpark 4 to 6 p.m. today with the debris starting or the derby starting on Thursday. We are ready at Bloomberg getting DES pages up as we speak." So Bloomberg and their terminal over there, which side note, Bloomberg terminal is like 10 G's a month to subscribe to instant access information. So talk about a little discrepancy. You need money to play this game. They're making progress to actually get all this stuff listed and get everything ready to go for today. So Eric here says we're going to get the approval today between 4 to 6 p.m. New Jersey time, which is kind of weird, but normally it's New York time, Eastern Standard Time. So post market close today. So after the market closes, expect some announcement from the SEC whether or not it gets approved. If this gets approved, this is blatant insider trading. Like, I know they need to have everything in place, but if they have direct word from the SEC that it's going to get approved, so they set up all the products and they get everything ready to launch it today, I don't see how that's not market manipulation or not market. I don't see how that's not insider trading. It just sus for me. What do you guys think, though? I'm curious what you guys think. Is it going to get approved? Is it not going to get approved? I don't think I can run a poll right now because I'm just on my phone viewing the chat, but go ahead and spam the chat right now if you think it's going to get approved. As punishment, send 15% of the portfolio and send it to the community wallet. That would be amazing. Repay some of that liquidations that happened on the market. Oh man. Regardless, Bitcoin's selling off pretty aggressively today. This would have been a perfect trade setup, but I was not ready to take that trade. You look, we got that VWAP. Bitcoin's been staying below the VWAP basically the entire day today. We keep coming up and testing that VWAP right here. We got one test. We got two tests, which was kind of prolonged. And then we got the third test right here that just happened, followed by the subsequent sell-off. The RSI was overextended. This was actually a perfect trade setup had you had the foresight to see it. And guess what? Already would have taken our 1% profit for the day and been done. Multiply that by 20x leverage, you'd have made a 20x trade. And yes, 20x leverage is excessively high, but when you're only looking for a 1% volatility, when you're only looking for a 1% move, the risk of getting liquidated off of that is way more manageable. We're not trading breakouts. We're not trading 20 or 30% moves on some of these altcoins, which can spike and collapse in a moment because there's no liquidity and they get manipulated by market makers all the time. Bitcoin is less likely to do that kind of stuff unless the SEC comes in and liquidates everyone's positions. So yes, it's risky to go that high with leverage, but it's not as risky as you might think if you have your proper stop losses in place. What Twitter account? What Twitter account? The actual SEC. SEC Gov. Or are you asking Eric? Eric Balchunas and it's Joshua Jake were the two that we were just talking about. The actual SEC Gov literally got hacked yesterday, which is hysterical, but also really scary. Balchunas. I'm putting more on no today in Polymarket. Yeah, I was going to talk about that in a couple minutes, but truthfully, we'll bring it up right now because you guys are talking about it, Johnny. I don't see a world in which someone could justify why the odds of the ETF approval went up after yesterday's nonsense. The Polymarket bet right now looks like it's grossly misrepresented by the market. There's literally a 84 cents 84% of the people are saying it's going to get approved by the 15th. I don't see any news that's coming out between now and the 15th. It's just today's the decision-making day. I don't see how this didn't change at all. There was a moment yesterday in which the the odds spiked up to 100% it was going to get approved, which makes sense because while it looked like it did get approved, if someone had arbitraged that, they'd be up a gross amount of money already. If someone sniped that entry point when it went up to 100%, that you'd be up infinite amounts of money right now, but I'm sure there was no real liquidity in that moment. But then we just came right back down to baseline. So I have $285 placed on this bet, which, if I'm correct in saying that the ETF is not going to get approved by January 15th at midnight, at the end of January 15th, then I will be getting $1,500 in return, or 426% returns from my $285. Basically, I'll 5x my money, and it'll be a nice hedge because my portfolio will likely plummet. It was the phone number connected to the login. Amateur hour, baby. That's amateur hour. That's like I don't even know what to say, but Congress has to step in. Congress has to do something to make sure that that kind of stuff doesn't happen again because you can't, living in this day and age where everything is online, literally, they're going to break the news on Twitter. Like, think about that. They're going to break the news of whether or not this ETF gets approved on X. You can't have your media source get hacked like that. That's a huge safety risk, a huge concern for financial markets. If the official organization in charge of regulating the financial markets can get hacked on their media outlet, you just can't have that. It's not something that's negotiable. Like, they need to have a restructuring event that happens. Will the current administration implement that? It kind of looks like Congress is taking the first steps to do that, but we know it'll probably take until the end of this presidential election cycle before something even gets suggested. Is the That Gambler live stream? It is right now. It is right now. We are absolutely gambling on it. But you want to know how we can twist this gamble into some sort of financial instrument here? In the stock market, in traditional financial markets, you have a concept known as hedging. I talked about this multiple times, honestly, so many times at this point. You hedge your portfolio for unknown news events that are going to come out. Okay, that makes sense, right? What is a hedge? A hedge is when you think something is going to go up in price, but then you take a small amount of your portfolio and you bet on it going down in price because a bet has outsized returns. And so that's known as hedging. If the event happens and the ETF gets approved, my portfolio goes up, hopefully more than $285, so it'll wipe out this loss from the gamble, right? And in the event that it goes down, the ETF does not get approved by January 15th, my portfolio will likely go down more than $1,000, probably more than $1,500, but that's all right. My portfolio will go down quite a bit, and this bet, will go up by $1,500. I'll make 1,500. So it's like it kind of evens out and smooths out that volatility. So hedging is a way for financial institutions. It's actually a way for businesses to hedge the volatility in commodities. It all originated with trade and stuff like that. If McDonald's is trying to make chicken nuggets and they need to project next month's expenses, they're going to go into purchasing chicken not just through a spot purchase, not just by purchasing it on the market. They're going to actually purchase it through options contracts, through derivatives in which they can lock in a price and hedge the volatility of the underlying asset. I know that's kind of complicated, but if you go buy a call option, you have to actually look at what's going on underneath the surface. You're agreeing to purchase X amount of a product or a good or a commodity, in this case, chicken. McDonald's buys call options on chickens, and that locks in their price. That locks in that they are guaranteed to purchase price at a certain price or purchase chicken at a certain price, regardless of the actual price of chicken at the time in which they need to purchase that chicken. And then they can project out next month's expenses so they can run a business appropriately. That's the reason why options exist. Now people just gamble on it because they don't understand how the financial market works. I'm using this bet as a way to hedge that. I know it's 9:18 in the morning and I just gave you a little Econ 101 class, but that's probably something that should be watched multiple times if you didn't understand what I was saying. Now, let's tone it down a little bit and look at the crypto bubbles chart. This thing is beautiful to look at, except for the fact that Hex is the only thing pumping today. That's hysterical to me that Hex is up 31%. Oh, I can drag the bubbles around. Oh yeah, Hex is pumping right now. Hex and E-Hex, baby. To the moon. I'm still waiting to add to stuff. I think they're gonna come down. If I'm wrong, I'm not gonna lie, I had my finger on the buy button yesterday. It's hard not to deal with it's hard to deal with the FOMO. It really is. Um, it is. But the hardest thing that an investor can do is sit on their hands. The hardest thing someone can do in investing is to do nothing. Because everyone, like, you want to get in, you want to front run this news, you want to front run everything, but you've had an aggressive amount of time to front run this news. I mean, Bitcoin was trading below $40,000 for 576 days. So we had 576 days to accumulate Bitcoin below 40,000. Now that it's at 45,000 and things are looking bullish, everyone wants to run in. But the markets don't just go straight up. There will be a pullback eventually. We just don't know if Bitcoin's going to run up to all-time highs before pulling back, and then you miss out on that entry point, or if it's going to pull back immediately. Nobody knows that. So that's the gamble. That's why I was calling for people to be slowly entering the market, actually back here in June of 2022, which I know I front ran the bottom. Um, but I just felt like the prices that we were seeing were ridiculous. And 2 or 3 years from then, no one would regret buying Bitcoin at $21,000, even though it fell to $15,000. But that's how I approach the market. That's not how you have to approach the market. When you trim the hedge, you get a nice haircut like Patrick did. Oh man. Come on, FTW. Oh no, it is a nice haircut. I'm starting to learn to love the haircut a little bit. It's not what I wanted, but it's what I got. And that's just a metaphor for life, I guess. Hmm. Facts. VYOFR. You got the right outlook there. Rather than FOMO into the market right now, go FOMO into a massage. Go do some self-treatment. Go have a little spa day, unwind, get rid of that stress. Let's zoom in on. Let's go through some of the altcoins that are going on right now. Bitcoin is coming back up to the VWAP, so it's kind of gifting us with another entry point if we wanted to take that trade. Ethereum was pumping last night, pumping yesterday. Today we're pretty much just chopping around, disrespecting the VWAP. We're below it right now, but there's no telling what's going to happen. Solana's having a larger sell-off than most other things. Injective also having a pretty large sell-off. Aave holding up pretty strong. Aave, I don't know. Mixed feelings about that. It looks like a good long entry point, but at the same time, not the pattern, so we can't go through with that. Aptos, Arbitrum, HBAR, Matic, Quant. Matic looks exactly like Aave. And then Quant. My God, Quant has been unimaginably disappointing, guys. Quant's getting booted out of the portfolio, especially if it doesn't hold this trend line. If Quant doesn't hold this trend line and we start breaking down, I don't even care that I'm going to be selling at a break even essentially for the portfolio. I'm getting the hell out of that thing. It's been wildly underperforming. Hedges are plants that little doggies pee on. Oh God. ETH ecosystem bets are doing okay. Yeah, ETH pumped yesterday. ETH was going crazy. ETH was going crazy. I want to show the flow of money, but I don't know if I still have it up. Oh, here it is. Here it is. So this chart is the flow of money through cryptocurrency. Right now, I can only view the 1 day time frame because I don't want to pay for it, so I can't change it off the 1 day interval, right? I would like to go to the weekly to see stuff, but I have to upgrade, and I'm not really down to upgrade right now. Can you guys hear Will rustling in the background?
Sorry about that.
You're good.
By the way, the ultimate hedge, move the fuck out of the US. That's your hedge.
Some alpha from Will. He said the ultimate hedge is to get the hell out of the US. That's the ultimate hedge. I mean, you go to one of those tax shelter countries, you don't even have to worry about paying tax on your Bitcoin. You take your Bitcoin on a ledger, you don't even have to worry about anyone paying attention. They're like, "What's this flash drive?" as you go through customs. Weird that my last check is blocked for some reason. Oh, damn. YouTube not like the words Pelosi, I guess. Oh, yeah, my last chat. What the hell? I don't even have any censorship stuff on the chat right now, so that's weird that YouTube censored you talking about Pelosi, one of the most goated traitors in Congress. BYOFR. I sold all my quant and bought games for a living. Oh my God. All right, hold on. I'm gonna touch on games for a living in a moment because I made a video and I made a classroom last week on games for a living in the Discord. But I want to just showcase kind of where the money is flowing right now. So if we go to the table view, today specifically, Bitcoin has had a net outflow of $77 million. Usually I don't pay any attention, like, well, I pay attention, but it's usually not anything to be concerned about until it hits that $100 million mark, both up or down. Ethereum had a net inflow of $50 million, so definitely bullish for Ethereum. Solana, it looks like, yeah, you can kind of see some of the coins here. Back to the picture graph because it's too early to deal with that many numbers. But right now, money's flowing into USDT. About 50% of that is coming from, no, none of it's coming from fiat right now. So this is just money cycling through the ecosystem. This is just money flowing from altcoins into USDT or from Bitcoin into USDT. A good amount of money flowing from Bitcoin into Ethereum. So people taking profits off of Bitcoin and going straight into Ethereum, probably not down to deal with that volatility. I imagine that's people hedging the bet. They made a bunch of money off Bitcoin running up. Now it doesn't even matter what happens to the ETF news. They want to take some of that profit off the table. Why not do it before all the risk that comes with it? People, okay, all right, so they just changed it around. People going from USD into USDT. So there is $119 million coming from fiat into stable coins. So people getting ready. People getting ready. People are going from Bitcoin to KRW and stable coins and wrapped Bitcoin. So they want to get some volatility. The buy flows mostly coming from USDT into ETH and Bitcoin. A little bit in there for stuff like XRP or Doge. Pretty much the same coin there. And then the net sell flows, people leaving Ethereum for stable coins, not really going into Bitcoin or anything. Most people are fleeing. If you're selling, you're not rotating money into altcoins, you're rotating money into stable coins. That's what it looks like right now. But let's go ahead and look at games for a living, which I might need CoinGecko for. I thought I pulled it up, but I guess not. If you guys like this kind of stuff, if you like this live stream, please do me a favor and like this live stream. We go live Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm on the road right now, so I'm on my laptop. So the quality looks a little bit shaky, and the audio is probably a little bit shaky as well. But we'll be back in my home setting tomorrow, and I have an exciting day tomorrow because I have two interviews lined up with some DeSci projects. The next 2 weeks for me is going to be very work intensive because I have several interviews lined up for DeSci projects, and then I'll be editing and getting them out. Hopefully, I'll have weekend videos posting for the next like 6 to 8 weeks of just DeSci projects who want to get exposure and get some content created. There's not really any channels on YouTube right now or in social media as a generalized thing that are going over DeSci and allowing for these projects to get publication, get eyes on their project. So I'm filling that gap in the market. I will be creating some very valuable interviews, just like the one I did with Valley Dow. That one that one really unlocked a lot of doors for this channel, a lot of doors for me. Want for GFAL, you're ballsy. Yeah, that is a ballsy ass trade. But GFAL, $61 million in market cap. If GFAL, Games for a Living, is to have a bullish run with the decentralized gaming narrative, we'll definitely see it outperform Quant. That's a no-brainer in my opinion. Just due to the market caps, guys. Just due to the market caps. It's way easier for something to go from a $61 million market cap to a $500 million market cap or a $5 billion market cap than it is for Quant, which already has a multi-billion dollar market cap, to get into the $100 billion? It's possible, yeah, but way more difficult. Yeah, games for a living. Games for a living. The chart just looks beautiful. You cannot deny that that chart looks absolutely stunning. That is the exact kind of chart that you're looking for in this bear market. And we just had a dip, not a crazy dip, but from the beginning of December till now, we're down a little bit. So a little bit of a dip in the market cap. We also went over Lit, which is Lit Labs. A little bit less bullish on Lit Labs. Is it even going to pull up? Lit Labs is a lot smaller, a lot more issues. Oh, you don't want to go over Lit Labs. That's fine. Okay. Okay. I guess we need Lido staked Ethereum. Audio video is great. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Do you guys hear the music too? Ben Armstrong's cell phone outside of the SEC is bad video quality. This is good. Very pixelated and choppy audio. You are smooth as butter. Oh, let's go. All right, never mind then. I redact my last comment. Hey man, good morning. What was your monthly trading profit? That is a wonderful question. For December, I liquidated the entire account drunk trading on the holidays. So definitely an L, but I'm debating. I don't think I'm going to open another trading account. I think it just takes away from some of my time. And while I'm like, it's exciting and it makes for good content on the live streams, I think I'm probably going to segue out of it. Like, I just don't it's not itching that part of my brain that I enjoy. I much rather enjoy investing. That's just where I've had the most success in the past. And while I know how to trade and I can explain the trading setups to people and talk about it, it's just it eats up a lot of my mental storage, and I don't know that I have any mental storage to give out. I did initially. I took the $100, turned it into the $1,000. We were en route to get that $10,000, and then I got stupid over the holidays. So be it as it is. I don't think that's a saying, but that's fine. Liquidated. I forget where I was gonna go after that. That's all right. Oh, I was going to go back here and go to my notifications because I put out a video on Data Lake. Hey, William Laurent, the future of DSO, decentralized social media. Oh yeah, we met with too many notifications running around right now, but we yesterday was pretty lit because we met with one of the team members from DSO. So that was actually an awesome time. We had a great time with Ash. We went out and got bulgogi. We went out to Korean barbecue. That's bulgogi is just a type of meat there. It was delicious. We ate way too much food, but DSO guys, they're doing some really cool things. That team really vibed well. That meeting was fantastic, and I hope that we can get some things rolling off of that. Decentralized social media is not something I was incredibly bullish on in the past, but I think it's time to kind of like revisit the topic because it's been about a year since I really did any kind of deep dive into what existed out there. And I just felt like it was too clunky at the time when I was looking into it all. But truthfully, I haven't done a deep dive into DSO, and I think it might be time to warrant that deep dive. I think it might be time to look into it a little bit further. A lot of cool things going on. It's just the idea for me was that there was too much friction in having to pay for everything you did on a social media platform. Plus, like most social media platforms end up not being able to hold water against things such as YouTube or against Facebook or Instagram. But then we saw TikTok come up and absolutely explode over the last decade. That's been fantastic. So clearly, you can disrupt the industry if you do it in a way that catches on. And people making money off of having content and interacting with content, that could catch on. That could catch on. That could be what it takes to disrupt it. I don't know. We'll get back to it. We'll revisit the subject. All I know is that that was a fantastic meeting, and I'm at least bullish on the team behind DSO. What are you gonna do for OG subscribers like us? We need a treat, man. I know. You're right. I I should implement more giveaways. That's what give back to the community, especially everyone in the Discord. You guys have been sticking through being here through thick and thin. Oh, I got a killer headache this morning. We can still go over the charts. If you guys are interested, spit out some crypto names. We can go through some of them, do some technical analysis. Let's see what VitaDAO is up to. Again, another dip worth having purchased some more Vita tokens in. It's only up 6%, but hey, that's good returns right there. Writing addictive algos. I'm not surprised at all. Not coming from you, DYOFR. We're here to build you up. Thank you, FTW. FTW just sniped me off blockchain basement. Absolutely sniped me. You see I don't want to click on this. We'll go back to this and duplicate the tab. We're cooking. Things are coming. Things are moving quite well, actually. We're at 1,033 subscribers, which is crazy. Literally started posting in October. So it's been just a couple months of posting here, and we crossed that $1,000 threshold. 3.5 months of posting. I'm excited. We're getting cooking. There's not really many DeSci pages out there, so truthfully, the market opportunity here for me is crazy. I'm in India. Let's go. Welcome from India. Welcome. Or welcome from the United States to India. I don't know. Rose. Let's go through Rose. Rose is having a nice little pullback here. Still haven't found support. You kind of look at the trading setup here, or more just the candlestick pattern. We're still yet to find support on Rose, so it's coming through this pullback that just happened from 15 cents, immediately spiked down to 10 cents, about a 31% correction. Now we're kind of hovering. It looked like it tried to find support on this giant green candle, right? But then we're coming back down, and the momentum is still shifting downwards for Rose. So I don't know that we're going to be able to find that support right there. There's also no previous price action that really indicates we'll find a strong support there. That energy drink is making me burp a little bit. As I said that, you can go look and actually see that there is an argument to be made that we will find support here. It's where it had got rejected at back here in August, and then found a little bit of resistance here back in August of 2021 before it obviously spiked up straight through that. So I'd keep an eye. What I'd keep an eye on is the RSI kind of resetting. The RSI has still got that momentum downwards, so not yet found support here. I would look for a more intentional area of support down here at 9 cents. And if you're bullish on Rose, that's probably a really good entry point for some long-term stuff into 2025. Some entry points into the bull market of 2024 and 2025. But ultimately, if you're bullish on Rose, probably picking it up at 11 cents if you think it's going to go back to all-time highs is not something you'll regret doing. But can't speak for anything on that. That's a decision you have to make. On a off the daily, you kind of come in a little bit. Let's go to the hourly. The hourly looks pretty much the exact same, actually. Slowly trying to build out a little bit of support, but the momentum is still shifting downwards. RSI is a coin toss which way it ends up going. I'm saying TikTok wrote addictive algos. Oh, yeah. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see if DeSo and other decentralized social media platforms can get that addictiveness, such as TikTok. H bar. H bar. A lot of people bearish on H bar, but I like H bar. I hold a bag of H bar. Similar fate. Definitely starting to bleed a little bit more and more. That momentum is continuing to shift down after it spiked up above that 10 cents range. We kind of go out to the daily, look at it from there. We had a double top. We had explicitly the same exact price point that we got rejected at back here in February of 2023. So if we find support, I would look to find support down here on H bar. which is, oh, that's exactly where it bounced off of, actually. So the wick bounced exactly off that 0.69 cents, or 69 cents, not 69 cents, 6.9 cents. Now I'm kind of finding support. We'll see if it continues and builds out on that 7 cent threshold or if it finds support up here. H bar probably looks like not the worst entry price down at these levels. It is down 25%. So when you're looking at these altcoins, when you're looking at entry points on altcoins, a lot of people get FOMO when you see something run from 5 cents to 10 cents. Oh, it did a double up. Should I buy it at 10 cents? No, let me wait for that pullback. And then the pullback happens and they're like, I'm going to wait for a pullback even further. I'm going to wait until we see a bigger pullback. And then it does something like this. It builds out support and starts going up again. They're like, well, I'm not going to FOMO in it right now. We're almost back to those highs that we just did. And it's like, well, that was the pullback that you said you were going to wait for. So have a plan, stick to the plan. Stop altering the plan based off your short-term emotions, you know? Bonk. Dude, you have a Lane Stanley thing going on now with that shorter hair. Who is Lane Stanley? But thank you. I'll thank you in advance, Seedling. It's a huge change up, dude. Not Stanley, Staley. It's a huge change up. I did not expect it to happen, but I'm happy with it. I'm slowly learning to get happy with it. This guy? I'll take it. Dude looks, I think those are inside thoughts. I was gonna say something, but I think those are inside thoughts. Those aren't things you say to the public. But I'll accept that. Thank you. I won't buy H bar, but I might buy Saucer Swap. Ramsey or Razmi. I don't care to look at Bonk, but I'll do it anyways because I gotta cater to the audience. Is this the real Bonk token? Yeah, it is the real Bonk token. I don't know what you want me to say here. This has gone down 72, 73%. Currently down 61%. My personal belief on something like Bonk is that it has actually zero room in a portfolio. There is zero allocation I make towards things like Bonk in my portfolio. In my gambling and in my trading portfolio, I might take positions on stuff like this. In my investment portfolio, Bonk has no room. There is no welcoming for Bonk in my investment portfolio. If you want to gamble, you want to trade in and out really quickly, you want to see if you can catch a move on Bonk, that is fun. You can have fun with it, but do not make the mistake of thinking that this is something you should hold for any long period of time. Do not get sucked into some narrative that's being spun up by people online that everything's a scam, so might as well just buy blatant meme coins and make your entire portfolio meme coins. It's a narrative that's going to get you wrecked. You can have allocations if you want, but I truthfully would keep them in a completely separate portfolio away from your investments to not conflate the two ideologies in your head. There is clear differences between investing and gambling on meme coins. You can have meme coins in your holdings and you can have fun with them, but don't think this is a long-term investment that you can make. With that being said, it found support. It found strong support right here at the previous area that it found support at. So if it can kind of continue upwards, I think it could be a good swing trade, and there's a lot of move room to run, right? It's over 100% to get back to all-time highs. If this doja candle right here does in fact get rejected and starts to go back down, that looks like a head and shoulders to me. That looks like a reversal pattern to me. But Bonk is like pretty much the biggest meme coin on Solana, so I bet that it's going to perform pretty well. Just put it in a different portfolio from your investments so you don't get suckered into, oh, it's going to go higher. It's already at like $1 billion market cap. So if it goes to $10 billion market cap, a $50 billion market cap for some unforeseen reason, unforsaken reason. Like, don't think it's gonna go compete with the likes of some actual projects that are doing cool stuff. Saucer swap. Saucer swap. I like saucer swap. I know it's not what everyone wants to hear, but it's what you need to hear. Saucer swap. I would much, personally speaking, I'd much rather hold something like Saucer Swap, which is fundamentally very different from Bonk, but probably has even more pumpamentals than Bonk. Saucer Swap is the leading decentralized exchange on top of HBAR, so it has a reason to exist, and it serves a problem. There's a reason to buy the coin other than just it's going to go up in value. If you're bullish on a layer one, you need to be bullish also on the leading decentralized exchanges on top of that layer one, because the layer one and the ecosystem built on top of it cannot exist without decentralized exchanges. Therefore, the DEX is kind of like an option play on top of that layer one. Something like Saucer Swap is going to outrun HBAR. It just is. If HBAR has success, Saucer Swap's going to have even more success, as evidenced by, well, it having more success than HBAR. HBAR went up about 100%, Saucer Swap went up about 500%. And we capitalized on that in the Discord. I know Johnny did. Johnny did real good on that. I'm looking for a re-entry on Caspa. I really like Caspa. Meme coins end up on IRS filings like anything else, and they might appear in divorce filings too. You're not wrong. You're definitely not wrong. Good afternoon. Oh man, no. Good afternoon. You're not wrong. You got to pay taxes on them regardless. So if you if your end objective is just to trade and make money, go trade and make money. There's nothing wrong with that. You just got to be careful not to conflate the two. Like, nobody wants to bag hold and round trip something, but if you were to round trip something, okay? Nobody wants to do this, but if you were going to round trip something, would you rather round trip Ethereum and just be able to hold it and continue on into the next cycle, or would you rather round trip something like Shiba Inu? You know? So I would rather round trip something like Ethereum, but that's me personally. Maybe you'd rather round trip Shiba Inu. Because you have to understand there always is the risk that you just don't time it right. And you can't round trip a meme coin. You have to get out. I think Sauce outperforming H bar is called beta. Yeah, it absolutely is beta. Absolutely is beta. Beta is just the percent that something is expected to out return based off of an index. In this case, it's additional gains based off of the thing you're comparing it to. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Is Lit Labs on here? Lit Labs Games. Look at that. This is also microcap. But really, I did not expect this cycle for me to focus all my attention on microcaps, but like I want that 10x, I want that 100x, and it's so much easier to get 100x on small, tiny things like this. Lit Labs looks like we just had a nice retracement, starting to rebound, starting to build out support here. There is no technical analysis to be made here because there just is no data, you know? I guess you could do a little Fibonacci retracement here, but where is it? I always forget where it is. Didn't quite get back to that 0.618, but it did do pretty well. It got pretty close to it, bounced off that point 0.5 retracement. So maybe we break down and go to that point 0.6. Pretty much all of this technical analysis goes out the window entirely if the Bitcoin ETF does not get approved. All of this technical analysis, because everything is looking super bullish, but if the Bitcoin ETF gets denied, not delayed. If it gets delayed, I think we can just extend it out a little bit. We'll have a little bit of a retracement, but the patterns will still kind of hold true. If the Bitcoin ETF gets denied, literally none of the technical analysis matters at all. Everything's going to tank. Everything's going to tank. Ash Swap is the DEX for Multiverse X. Elrond underperformed. Ash performs. Yeah, see? Exactly. It's the beta. Won't be denied at this point, hoping to make it for a delay. I don't think it gets denied. I think it will likely just get delayed due to the hack that happened. Ultimately, we're probably just going to get a delay because the SEC is in shambles and has no idea what's going on. So, time will tell though. Market closed today. Pay attention. The market closes at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So as soon as the market closes, pay attention for that spot ETF approval or deny from the SEC. My bet is that it gets denied, but I would love for it to get approved. I would love for it to get approved because everything's going to skyrocket and it's full steam ahead. We have some more clarity. The market likes clarity. The market does not like uncertainty. And right now, this entire process is just uncertainty. So if you are also bullish on crypto, make sure that you come over to the channel, subscribe, and watch this video on Data Lake right here. Watch this video on me ranking Data Lake. I was very critical on it. I'm bullish. It's my biggest DeSci bag. I really like Data Lake, and I think it's going to perform very well in the world of DeSci. I think it could 100x from here, but I have to be very critical on stuff like this because most of the time nobody's critical on the projects that they're holding. They just are sitting there spewing a bunch of FOMO type stuff like get in, get in, get in. This is amazing. We're going to the moon. While I do think that Lake is going to go to the moon, you have to be hypercritical about things. And if you cannot find a flaw, if you can't find any red flags in your investment, that tells me that you have not done enough due diligence. And as DYOFR would say, do your fucking due diligence. Time's your most valuable asset. Thank you all so much for being here with me. I appreciate each and every one of you guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. End stream.